The Rolling Stones, as I'm sure you know, have recently been touring America, and Radio 1 producer Jeff Griffin journeyed thither and spoke with Mick Jagger, asking Mick what he thought of the collection of oldies and not-so-goodies recently released under the title Metamorphosis.
Well, it's very disappointing, because, the story of it is simple enough that we got a lot of old tracks, some of which you played on your programs, if I remember rightly, 1 or 2. And we were asked, we were required for this deal with Klein owed us a lot of money and also rights that he claimed. So to get out, to make an agreement to get rid of him and say goodbye and get him out of our hair, we said we would do one album of all these old things, and then through a lot of legal machinations, he sort of got himself in the position where we just weren't involved in it at all, and it was all done by Andrew Oldham and him, and putting out things that were, first of all, the first side is just not the Rolling Stones. Keith's on some of them. I'm singing on them, but it's not the Rolling Stones. They're just, it's good bands, but they're session musicians in London,
Yeah.
And so that's kind of misleading because it isn't the Stones. And then some of the other stuff, which is a bit newer, was also misleading because it says it goes to 1972. It doesn't actually go to 1969. But he never even gave us a chance to finish them off. Some of them didn't have that. I just were writing the words as I was playing, like one called Johnny, Sister Fanny, and there's one called I'm Going Down. Well, I just wrote those in the studio.
Yeah.
And I didn't have words, and I was just playing guitar, and I just sort of mumbled words to keep the band sort of together. So I never got the chance to even finish it off, which is really stupid. Why they wouldn't give you that, I thought it was
So
a bit
presumably
of a travesty.
you presumably would rather it hadn't been released then?
Yeah, and we made up an album which was really funky, and contained things we liked, and they were all finished.
Yeah.
And all the words, and they were, from the early album period and up to '67, a lot of hard rock, sort of blues things, but they were nice.
Just briefly, can you talk about the new album that you've? I know you haven't completed it yet, but
yeah, it's. I don't know if we're going to cut any more tracks. I think we're going to cut some more. We've cut 21 tracks, I think. It's pretty different from the last one because hasn't got Mick Taylor on it. On the last album, Mick Taylor was playing most everything. But this time, because Mick wasn't there, we had to use a variety of guitarists. So we've got, Keith and me, and then you've got Keith and Wayne Perkins, Keith and Ronnie, Keith and Ronnie, no, Keith and Wayne Perkins and Harvey Mandel on one note, which is really nice. And then you've got one with Harvey Mandel who does the lead, and all that. And you've got some of this particular band as well, which is with Billy.
yeah. Keith seemed to think that the live album that you've recorded on this tour might come out before the studio album. Do you think that's?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that the studio album, we could get it out quicker, but I don't think it should be out. I think we should put some new things out next. Personally, I think we should concentrate on that. But the album is, I find it very difficult to describe albums, especially when they're half finished. But it is pretty different from the last one.
But one of them presumably will be out before Christmas, will it?
Oh yeah, I mean, it won't take us that long to finish it off. I mean, we'll put it out. Probably get it out. I mean, it would have been out if Mick hadn't have left the band. It would have been a lot easier because we had to audition guitarists while we were recording, which is like, because otherwise we wouldn't have had time. So it was, it took a long time to do, you know, in a way.
What's going to be the situation about guitarists in the band now? Because obviously Ronnie Wood's got his commitment with the Faces, but of course, since the tour began, Mick Taylor's now become bandless, as it were, because of the split.
Bandless, bandless.
Because of the split with Jack Bruce. I asked Bill if there was any chance of him coming back, and he said he thought that contact had been made, but he wasn't too sure about it. As a likelihood of him playing, if not rejoining the band.
I haven't spoken to Mick since I come to America. I mean, I've been out. We went out a few nights in London before I came over here in April sometime. And you know, I mean, we sort of really, I mean, we're still good friends. You know, very friendly. And I went to see him. Went to hear what some of the things he did with Jack. They should have made a record first and then gone on tour, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
But I haven't spoken to Mick since he split, so I don't know what he's up to.
Right. You must have felt a bit sad, I suppose, in a way. I mean, somebody you've played with for 5.5 years, and.
Well, I was very sad, you know, about Mick leaving the band.
Well, I don't just mean him leaving, but I mean the fact that having left to go and try something
Yeah, I was
else,
also
like
upset that he didn't make it with the band that he went with, you know. I was a bit upset about that. I mean, without being unfair, I think you could say that it was, I didn't really think the band would have lasted that long, but I started to expect Mick to last longer than that than he did.
Well, finally, we've, as you said, that hopefully the South American part of the tour will take part early next year. But what about Britain? Any chance?
Well, due to the tax situation, no, I mean, it's just gone so bad, you know, that we really can't. I mean, we're not going to England this year, you know. I want to come back and live in England next year, you know, like all year. I want to do that. I have to stay out this year, and then I can maybe come back next year for the next few years and live there, which I would really love to do. So in April, no doubt, we'll do some gigs in England.